fans, you voted on it. 4 competitors to go after the new AML Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, and Caprice Coleman was one of those guys that you voted on. He can tame Bengals. He can tame Jaguars. He can do it all. And tonight you're going against Jeff Lewis Neal. How's everything going to go in this match?
Well, there you go again, trying to make me make predictions. I don't know how you look at me and feel that I'm some type of genie or something like that. I tell you what, I want to appreciate everybody voting for me to be one of the top 4 to become the AML next champion. And I believe that that has my name written all over it. I don't know how pretty the gold is, but I know how pretty the one it is that will be holding it. And I found out who I'll be wrestling. It was a mystery for a while, but the mystery is now gone. The mystery has been foretold, and it's Jeff Lewis. Jeff Lewis, I saw you before, I met you before, and I know what you're about. And I know that you're coming here hungry to try to be the champion, but you're running up against the wrong one. It's the wrong road and the wrong time for you, because my time is now, my season is now, AML is mine. The future is now.
I just called the Holy Spirit. We'll take this to ringside.
Coleman and Neal in the feeling out process here. Caprice Coleman, a man we have seen in the past on AML Wrestling Live, the ambassador of the grind. Had a great win over Sanjay Dutt in one of our earlier episodes, and lost a controversial match to King Shane Williams as well in our program. And you got to think, if those guys hook it up next week for the AML Heavyweight title, a little bit of animosity will certainly be running through that matchup. And Coleman takes him down there with an arm drag. And Caprice Coleman there flips out of it and walks right into a clothesline. And if he knocks off Caprice Coleman, Jeff Lewis Neal will find his way into next week's AML Heavyweight title match. And Coleman here pounding away. Look at him go to town there on Jeff Lewis Neal. Coleman there charges in, gets sent to the outside by Jeff Lewis Neal, but a big roundhouse kick. And from the outside in, Neal's going to kick him off there with that drop kick, and Caprice Coleman's going to hit the floor.
Come on, Caprice, come on.
Off the ropes. And a diving knee drop right there by Jeff Lewis Neal. Rolls him over, hooks the inside leg. 1-2. Be sure to be here tomorrow afternoon for more exciting AML wrestling action. And there's Coleman there with that springboard Hurricane Rana. Down goes Jeff Lewis Neal. And here comes Caprice Coleman starting to fire up here. Coleman with consecutive clotheslines. And Coleman there with that spinning leg drop right to the back of the head. And Caprice Coleman now is in control. Lewis Neal, oh, he's going to catch him there, does Jeff Lewis Neal. And there's a side Uranagi. That might do it. 1, 2. Coleman blocking Jeff Lewis Neal's attack. He's going to send him for a ride. Puts his head down. High elevation with the big back body drop. Neal right back up, but Coleman takes him down again with consecutive clotheslines. Jeff Lewis Neal back to a vertical base. Caprice Coleman, the shuck and jive. The 1-2 KO. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I thought that might do it. But it's only a 2 count. And now the ambassador of the grind. Trying to get this crowd in Winston-Salem firmly behind him. Irish whip by Jeff Lewis Neal. The go behind by Coleman. He grabs him. Russian leg sweep. And he turns it around there. And he's got a submission there. Almost a crossface. And Jeff Lewis Neal, he's trying to fight for his life here. But he's going to get into the ropes, breaks it up, and briefly derails the hopes of Caprice Coleman. Both men back up here. Jeff Lewis Neal kicks him in the midsection. And there's a roll of the dice by Jeff Lewis Neal. 1, 2. And I thought that might do it. Jeff Lewis Neal trying to find an opening here. As Caprice Coleman writhing in pain on the mat, Jeff Lewis Neal has now perched himself up there on the second ropes, and Caprice Coleman pops up, and there's the leap of faith that Frankensteiner to the man on the top rope, and Coleman there drives in with a cutter. 1, 2, 3, and Caprice Coleman is advancing on to the AML Heavyweight Championship match.
Caprice Coleman, great match right there. You've advanced to the 4-way. You could possibly become the first AML Wrestling champion.
He's not! Well, it feels great, and I don't mind having daddy daycare because I'm a responsible parent that loves his children. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me believing in myself. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the style, the grace, the shape, and his pretty face. I wouldn't be here. So if it's poor people come, and there was one left. Caprice coming, the show stopping, crowd popping, hold on a little heart. Body rocking, pulse pounding, let me say it. Pulse pounder, heart racer, the handsome face, heartbreaker, the man with the style, the grace, the shape, and the face is in the right place for AML to be the new champion.
AML Wrestling returns to Winston-Salem.
You want to get hit in the head with that trash can.
Come on out June 28th for a live TV taping at Johnny and Jude.
He's on that ring apron. Here comes Mr. Mid-Atlantic with a running leg drop.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm pile driving everybody.
Come on out and see all of your favorite AML stars.
Go to AMLWrestling.com.
AML fans, you can catch AML Wrestling anytime online. Just go to AMLWrestling.com. Also, while you're there, make sure you pick up a few tickets to see us live right here in Winston-Salem.
Honesty, a value that seems lost in today's auto industry. At Beamer Tire and Auto Repair, we have built our reputation on providing honest and friendly service. With 2 ASE certified master technicians and industry-leading technology, the tire experts at Beamer are well equipped to service or repair any make or model on the road today. So, for all of your future automotive needs, be sure to stop by Beamer Tire and Auto Repair. We care because you can go anywhere.
We're here with Cauliflower Brown, who tonight was picked in a lottery to go against Zane Dawson. What's going to happen in this match?
Well, Chris, you know, I don't vary my game plan a lot depending on who it is. I know Zane's a big, tough guy. But, you know, I think Farmer Burns might have wrestled a few big, tough guys. And I think his student, Henry Colin, might have wrestled a few big, tough guys. And I believe his student, Billy Wicks, might have wrestled some big, tough guys in Memphis. And I think that his student, I know that his student, John Strickland, who taught me catch can wrestling, has fought some big, tough guys. And Zane Dawson, there's nothing different tonight.
Here's Zane Dawson. Zane Dawson is joining us right now. Good to see you again, Zane.
Right. Tell him that I'm the underdog, and tell him. Go ahead. Tell the people that the One Man Riot is the underdog, just like you did last time, Chris.
Let's stay professional here.
Tell him.
Whatever you want to say.
Tell him, Chris.
You can use this time for a promo, but let's stay professional here.
Promo, schmomo. Listen here. Tonight, I don't give a damn what the fans chose or who they got me against. Cauliflower Brown, Chase Brown, whatever you want to call yourself. Tonight, your eyes and everybody else's eyes are gonna be open to what's coming. Chris Lee, call me an underdog again.
Can I do my job now?
Yeah.
Thank you. See you later. Zane Dawson, we'll take this to ringside.
The fans voted him. Get on your feet. From Yonkers, New York, weighing in at 275 pounds, he is the One Man Riot, Zane Dawson.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to AML Wrestling Live. Blake Chadwick here calling the action. It is main event time this week, as we have seen 3 of the 4 men officially qualify for next week's AML Wrestling Heavyweight Title match. Last week, of course, King Shane Williams and the ring wrecker Vordell Walker. And then before we went to commercial break, Caprice Coleman knocking off Jeff Lewis Neal. And now making his way out here for the first time since our inaugural episode of AML Wrestling Live from Yonkers, New York, the One Man Riot, Zane Dawson. And Zane Dawson was the final man selected by you, the fans, on AMLWrestling.com.
Also, Zane Dawson is a George South guy. He's also the winner of the George South Battle Royal from WrestleMania. He would also like everybody to know that Matt Hardy did not pin him last time he was here. And he thinks he's the #1 contender already and should have the belt at his feet. Gotta win this match first. Here we go. His opponent, chosen by lottery prior to the show, he weighs in at 215 pounds. Here's the Grand Miracle Carnival Company. Here comes Cauliflower Brown. Referee for this match is Jeff Lewis.
But you see coming out here the opponent of Zane Dawson, a man who is no stranger to AML Wrestling. And that is Cauliflower Brown. And wait a minute, just like that, Baron Bullard and some of the other George South guys are out here. Zane Dawson, it's a 3-on-1 out there. Come on, referee. Officials need to get out here and maintain some order. Cauliflower Brown getting peppered with right hands left and right by the George South guys. Now they pick him up here. Do the 2 of them. And they're going to wishbone him right into the ring post. And for this young underdog, who knocked off Jason Kincaid in his AML Wrestling Live debut a few weeks back, and now has the privilege of being selected to possibly compete for the AML Heavyweight Championship. He's squarely behind the 8 ball before this match even officially begins, and it has nothing to do with the fact that he's in there with the One Man Riot. Zane Dawson and the rest of the George South guys have completely taken this to a whole nother level, as the crowd favorite, Cauliflower Brown, gets sent face first there right into the ring post, as Tracy Myers, the owner of AML Wrestling, and some security escorting out the George South guys, but the damage has been done, as Zane Dawson's going to roll Cauliflower Brown into the ring. It should be easy pickings for the One Man Riot. Certainly not a bad way to make your return to AML Wrestling. Almost 4 months after being suspended. Dawson's going to drop down. This could be academic. Looks like 1, 2, 3. Oh! And Cauliflower Brown at 2 7/8 is going to kick out. Dawson tries it again, 2. And Brown kicks out again. And maybe their most resilient man in all of the Mid-Atlantic is not going to give up just yet. And you see the frustration there by Zane Dawson choking away on Brown on that middle rope, as George South still shouting words of encouragement at Zane Dawson. But you got to think King Shane Williams was certainly tested by Kevin Phoenix. We know George South Jr. gave Vordell Walker one hell of a test last week. And then we saw in our first portion of the broadcast today, before we went to commercial break, Jeff Lewis Neal giving Caprice Coleman all he could handle. But thus far, Zane Dawson seemingly making easy work here of Cauliflower Brown. He might be the most fresh man in that match next week if he can continue to take care of business here. He's going to send him for a ride. And a big boot right to the face is going to plant Cauliflower Brown, and then a flying knee. Here comes Dawson, 1, 2, and again 2.5. But the One Man Riot doing some serious damage here against Cauliflower Brown. Dawson's going to pick him up here. And like yesterday's garbage, is just going to throw him to the outside. It's the One Man Riot, who has wreaked havoc all throughout the Mid-Atlantic. Picks up Brown and dumps him belly-to-back suplex there right on the ring apron. And Dawson nearly knocks him in the next week. Incredible power by the One Man Riot as George South Sr. standing over the fallen Cauliflower Brown and showing his approval for what looks to be the crown jewel of the George South guys. As Brown still struggling to get to his feet. And it looks like Zane Dawson having his way here, but Cauliflower Brown, he's starting to fight back here with some forearms. These men need to be careful, or we could be looking at a double countout, and from what I understand, if they do both get counted out or both get disqualified in this matchup, we will see a triple threat match instead next week for the AML Heavyweight Championship between King Shane Williams, Vordell Walker, and Caprice Coleman. That would certainly not sit too well with the One Man Riot as he brings Cauliflower Brown back into the ring. Only gets a near fall as Brown continues to fight. As Cauliflower Brown, we have seen him in singles competition, as I've stated, knocking off Jason Kincaid. And from what I understand, coming up in our future episode of AML Wrestling Live, we very well could see him in tag team action, bringing along his tag team partner, Pita Casa, as they are known as Nuclear Casserole. And that'd be very interesting to see if those two can make an impact in the tag ranks, but Cauliflower Brown could very well be holding the AML Heavyweight title at that juncture. And as I did talk about in our first match between Jeff Lewis Neal and Caprice Coleman, please join us tomorrow afternoon as AML Wrestling Live returns right here to Winston-Salem, North Carolina at Johnny and June's in the AML Arena. Tickets starting as low as $8. Get them now at amlwrestling.com as Zane Dawson takes him down with a big side slam. 1, 2, and another near fall as Cauliflower Brown desperately trying to stay into this matchup. But Zane Dawson continuing to find ways to stay on the attack. And you got to think the One Man Riot could certainly be in the house tomorrow afternoon, or even the next time we join you on July 26th, another Sunday afternoon taping. All of that information on amlwrestling.com. In addition to our online exclusive matches, check them out there, or on YouTube, some great ladies action, tag team action, legends matches, other great singles matches, a whole plethora of action from America's Most Liked Wrestling. And Zane Dawson, we did talk about him thinking he won that 2014 WrestleCade Battle Royal. We think he might want to return there this year and maybe be gunning for Matt Hardy's WrestleCade Heavyweight title. That's coming up right here in Winston-Salem at the Benton Convention Center on November 28th. Check out WrestleCade.com. Get more details as there's a beautiful Saito suplex by Cauliflower Brown. Pulling out that one deep from in the arsenal. As Cauliflower tries to get back to his feet, Zane Dawson is certainly phased here. Dawson charges in, Brown ducks underneath the clothesline, and he grabs him there, and almost a monkey flip variation. As Dawson's in the opposite corner now, and Cauliflower Brown, he's going to monkey flip him right out from the corner into the center of the ring. Look at that strength by the young man. He leaps in, looks like he's going for a Hurricane Rana, and he snaps it off. Hooks the inside leg, 1, 2, and Cauliflower Brown nearly pulls off the shocking upset. Would certainly have to go down as probably the biggest upset in the short history of America's Most Liked Wrestling Live. And Brown now picks him up. Oh, he's trying at least. But Zane Dawson, nearly 275 pounds, he ducks underneath, goes for the springboard. And a right hand there by Cauliflower. 1, 2, and another 2.5. As Cauliflower Brown has shown a ton of moxie in this one. Not giving up, chosen at random to take on Zane Dawson. He came here today with his working boots on. He didn't know who he was going to take on, whether it be Caprice Coleman, whether it be Zane Dawson, or whether it's a day off. So Cauliflower Brown had to come ready, and ready he is. The Irish whip there by Zane Dawson. He charges in, nobody home. Brown tries to find the opening, and there's a Superman punch in the corner. Cauliflower Brown using the momentum of this crowd in Winston-Salem. Charges in, one more time, can't get it. And Zane Dawson nearly decapitates him with that lariat, a la Chris Lee a few months ago. And that's going to do it. That lariat out of nowhere.
Advancing to the four-way match, Zane Dawson.
And the one-man riot, Zane Dawson, is your final man set for the AML Heavyweight Title match. This time with George South Sr. in tow. And he has officially stamped his spot in next week's heavyweight title match. He is the final man. And I'll tell you what, the momentum right now seems to be on the side of Zane Dawson. As George South conferencing with the official here. Oh no. He's distracting the referee. Zane Dawson, you've already won the match. Why do any more damage to this young man? As Cauliflower Brown's popped up, and he's knocked out once again with that lariat. That lariat sent Chris Lee to the hospital. And it suspended Zane Dawson. And now not only did it just win him this match, and they have inflicted some more damage on Cauliflower Brown. Oh no, Dawson's on the outside. He's got a steel chair. It was one thing to be suspended for 2 months after taking out Chris Lee. But it's another thing to use a chair here. As Chris Lee, he's standing ringside with George South Sr. and Zane Dawson. Certainly security needs to be standing by with Chris Lee. He's brave, I'll tell you what.
If I can't, and people won't shut up, there's nothing else I can do. This right here is what hides under everybody's bed. Let me ask you this then. Since we're not going to talk to Zane Dawson, he's moving on, he has a chance to become the first AML Heavyweight Championship Wrestling champion. What does that mean to you, him being a George South guy? Listen, Chris, I'm not going to stand here and act like it does. If he becomes a world AML heavyweight champion, I don't know what I can do with it. You understand? There was a time when, listen, there was a time when Godzilla couldn't be held down anymore. Yep. If you give him that if he takes that AML world heavyweight belt, I'm not responsible for what's going to happen. I'm not.
Oh. And Zane Dawson mockingly goes to take a shot at Chris Lee. And George South Sr. is going to need to restrain him. I'll tell you what, if he puts his hands on him, Tracy Myers and the rest of the management here at AML might need to rid themselves of Zane Dawson. As he's getting in Chris Lee's face here. George South Sr. trying to restrain him. As Cauliflower Brown still having a difficult time getting to his feet. As it looks like Dawson's going to be kept at bay, at least for the time being. But the One Man Riot, again, officially your fourth man. Next week on AML Wrestling Live, we'll hook it up. Fatal four-way, one fall to a finish. The winner, the first ever AML Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
A lot of fans have been asking about the lineup for WrestleCade 2015. Well, folks, more than 100 stars are going to be there. Here's just a sample of who's been announced so far. Matt Hardy, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Mr. Anderson, Abdullah the Butcher, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Henry Godwin, Bob Holly, Kevin Sullivan, Shane Douglas, and Harley Race. Go to WrestleCade.com and see who else is coming to Winston-Salem and get your tickets before they sell out. Remember, that's November 28th, WrestleCade 2015.